this is Shanna. I just wanted to hop on and create a quick little tutorial on how to resize and duplicate images to create a slimline card with digital stamps. Digis are a lot of fun and don't require physical space to store. They can all be stored on the cloud or on your computer or on an external hard drive, however you want to store and organize, but they don't take up any physical space, which is super nice when you have limited options for storage and organization. So slimline cards have become very popular in the last year, and digital stamps are increasing in their popularity as well. As everybody's shut in and quarantined and don't have access to their normal shopping haunts, digital sites have actually blossomed, and we're seeing an increase in popularity and options. So TLC Designs has some adorable digital stamps, and I was going to explain how I choose to resize and create slimline cards with them. I am using Pages, the Macintosh app for like Word documents, equivalent to Microsoft Word or Google Docs. I had to think which app. Google Docs would do the same thing in similar form. I start by creating a rectangle shape. So I can go to Insert Shape and select Rectangle, and then I drag and resize to the size of my slimline card. Slimline card for me generally is 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Some people like them at about 4 by 9 or 4 by 8.5. So whatever size slimline you want to create is the size rectangle you're going to create on your Word document. After that, I generally color it so I have a visual of how big it is on my screen. So you can pick any color for this. I generally do light gray. But after that is done, I'm going to drag in the images. I am using a singular image here from TLC Designs. It is in the One-Eyed Harry digital stamp set, and it is a present. I wanted to create a bunch of Christmas presents, so I thought it would make a really cute slimline border design. So I'm going to take this image, size it down some, and duplicate it to go around the complete perimeter of my rectangle on screen. You want to make sure you select the PNG file in order to do this. PNGs have a transparent background, unlike JPEGs or the JPG formats that have a white box of sorts. So you won't be able to stack and layer them as easy. PNGs will layer right on top of each other and allow you to get that layered look for stamping, similar to masking if you were doing a real stamp. So after I duplicate the stamp a bunch of times on screen, all I did there was copy and then paste a bunch of copies. I'm just going to spread them out around the rectangle to get a better idea of how many I need to make. After I have the amount I need, I can play with the rotation. So for me, I have options for style, image, and arrange when I'm working in the Pages application. If I go to arrange, I can actually come down to rotate and play with what angle it's at. So I can tip them and tilt them different directions to make a pleasing arrangement. You will have to select each image individually and rotate it to the spot you want to create the border. So this might take a little bit of time, but in my opinion, it is a lot quicker than physically masking and stamping and masking and stamping and masking and stamping again to fill an entire perimeter of a slimline with a physical image, especially if you were only using one stamp. So I just kind of play until I get what I want for a visual. I try and pick different angles and not have the same one repeat twice right next to each other, just so I have some differences between them. After I have them all sorted with the rotation, I can come back and I can bring different images to the front. So If I have one image that is just too buried between others, I can select it, and then what you do is you click it, bring to front, or in my case it just says front. You can also click forward or backward and it'll do the same thing, but front automatically brings it to the top of the page. Or if I was to hit back, it automatically takes it to the back of the page. After all of the images are arranged in what pleases you, I add in some guidelines for cutting. I want to make sure I know exactly where I'm going to trim to make my rectangle. So in order to do this, I'm going to bring that initial rectangle we had at the very beginning of this and bring it to the top so I can see the edges. I will now insert a line by going to Insert and then select Shape or Line. And I'm just going to add a line to the border of each side. So I just have a cutting line. So it automatically adds it as a diagonal line. I just straighten it and I just butt it right up to the side of that rectangle. I did make the rectangle somewhat transparent so I can still see my shapes underneath it, but you just want to create a guideline so you know where to line up your paper cutter at the end. Doesn't matter what color you make these, you're not going to see them on your finished card panel at all. After I have all 4 lines butted up, I am good to either delete my rectangle or you can change the fill color to no fill and now it's transparent and plays no part in the printed image. Go to print, you can see my preview and hit print. I print on 80-pound cardstock and I have no problem with my Copics. I will link in the description what cardstock I use, but it will vary printer to printer on what you can print successfully on. I hope this helps everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or tag me in the comments. Have a great day, guys. Thanks.